Welcome to the Sparky Coach podcast. This platform was built by Sparkies for Sparkies. We simply exist to make business owners more profitable, or businesses more profitable and more predictable. So we want to work with people that work hard because we love working hard too, that work smart because you got to be on top of the business, people that are kind because no one likes a dickhead. Am I right? People who want results because that's what we're here for, right? And people who want to be part of a like-minded community. So if you're interested in hearing more about the platform, please reach out and enjoy the podcast. Sparky Coach Podcast, Crowe here, The Crowe Show. Episode 300, if you can believe that. Thanks so much to everyone for all your support along the way to get to 300 episodes. It's felt like a bit of a dream. We love it, and we keep putting it out because you guys love it, and we really hope it's helpful and stuff that you can apply, and it's stuff that'll get you through, and it gives you hope, and that is propelling you on the right path in your trade God ordained destiny of making money, building wealth, and being kind. So thanks so much, everyone, for your support this far. But today we are talking about red flags in business, or we just picked 5 major red flags in business. And I want to encourage you that, and I guess we're partly to blame here. We put out good results a lot. We've got members making millions of dollars every single year, net profit. And that's great. And that's the goal. Whether it's millions of dollars for you, $1 million, Dr. Evil style, or whether you want a team of 2 or 10 or 20, you can win big in business and you can also lose big. And we talk about the winning big a lot, and we talk about goals a lot and positive stuff, and that's awesome. But there's a dark side to business that can be an all-consuming fire. It can be a gurgling money pit. It cannot go so good. There's great results, and there's some terrible results as well out there. And it's sort of stemmed from, for us, we had a member go into liquidation. So basically the company was unable to pay its debts about 18 months ago. And there was this really big tax debt that we didn't know about. And should we have known about it? Probably, honestly, probably could have been asked some better questions. And we have started asking a lot better questions since that happened. But, from the outside, everything looked good. Like great guy, great person, super switched on. I cannot stress that enough. Like, very, very smart guy. I remember the first time I spoke to him, and I was discussing numbers, and it was like I was just talking to someone who understood, and that's not that common. And I just super switched on, really lovely, super personable, great dad, good husband, and found himself after X amount of years in the business with debts that he couldn't sustain or keep up with. And it's sort of like, I just want to highlight a few red flags. Like, how do you end up there? And you might be like, what an idiot. Dude died in a hang gliding accident. What an idiot. And it's so unbelievably easy to land yourself in a fast growth or fast pace, or I'll quote that for that. I don't know my numbers, but I'm going to do the job. I got $1 million job. I got a $500,000 job. I got all these staff members. I got these subbies, and I'm behind on invoices. I haven't tracked anything. It's so easy to sort of roll the scroll out and land somewhere where you never intended to land. And if you're not careful, you can land, if you're driving with no map, you can land in an area you never intended to be. And you're like, well, I didn't want to lose my relationship because I was working so hard, but hey, that's the seeds I was sowing for 5 years. I didn't want to go bankrupt, but that's the seeds I was sowing for 5 years. I was spending more than I was earning for a long time. I kind of knew something was wrong, but I was a bit scared to look at it. And so many people come into our program around our ecosystem, and they're unaware of their numbers. They're unaware of what a shareholder loan is. They're unaware of the Div 7A situation. They're unaware of what they're making. That's not good enough. It's not good enough. And I want to encourage you that, yes, focus on what can go right and invest into the right things, but also we need to be aware. We need to be wary. So here's 5 sort of major red flags. One is this, the first one. This is not the only red flags. There's plenty of red flags. But here we go. You are not making money, and it's been like this for a while. You're not making money, and it's been like this for a while. This is number 1 red flag. It's the bus isn't turning around. I'll turn this damn bus around. It's not turning around. It's not turning around, and it hasn't turned around, and it's been like this for a while. And you've might have been in around some positive environments, and yeah, I'm hoping it'll turn around, and your toxic positivity has failed to recognize the patterns of your business where it's not turning around. It's been like this for a while, and we keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Now, on this, I will say too many people are taking too much money from their business. So what we encourage at Sparky Coach is you would take a market wage. So basically, what you could earn for someone else, it's going to be 100 to 120 grand if you're on the tools plus super, and it's going to be 130 to 150 if you're full-time office quote lord, something around that. So we want you to achieve that, and on top of that, a business net profit of 20 to 35%. That's our mantra, that's our ethos, that's what we're after. 35% business net profit is a great result, and 20 is, I would say, you don't want to be shooting less than 20. And if you are, can you turn it around? And if you're shooting a $10 million revenue at 15%, hey, I'm cool with that if you're cool with that. But you got to know where the levers are to pull money and make profit. So sit with people and they're like, oh, I'm not making any money in the business. And I was like, yeah, it's because you're paying yourself 150 grand, your partner 150 grand, and your business can't afford that. Or your mortgage is too heavy. You're spending more personally than you're earning, and you're using your business as a consistent loaning. This is a red flag. This is a red flag. You're not making money, and it's been like this for a while. But sometimes the reason you're not making money, or you feel like you're not making money, is because you're stealing from the business and then being like, what happened to my business? Like Rocky style. Oh, gosh, I just watched Rocky 1 on the plane. Crazy. What an average movie turned cult classic. I'm going to probably get in trouble for that from the Rocky lovers. Anyway, Adrian. You go, Adrian, to your business. And it's like, Adrian's like, you've stolen the money. You've stolen the money. It's crazy. So market wage and a business net profit. The smartest way you can do that, and I'm not an accountant, this is not accounting advice, it's just generic advice. Basically, pay yourself a market wage. That's going to make your PAYG tax come out, and you're going to pay that in your BAS statement. You basically your quarterly or monthly activity statement houses a GST component and a PAYG component, and so you're going to be chipping away at your personal tax if you pay yourself a market wage. And then your business net profits, I'd be taking that out monthly, or making sure you know what the profits are and then what you can distribute monthly. However you do that, speak to someone who's an actual professional in this realm. But too many of us are spending personal money we don't have from business money that's not ours, and then we're complaining the business isn't going very well. And so the first step is always to be like, what are you taking from the business, and is it sustainable? And too many people are paying themselves a partner wage, and your partner's doing absolutely nothing. And I'm like what you do on your own time is your own time, but that might not be sustainable for the consistent growth of the business. But if you're not making money and it's been on that for a while, that's one of the first things I would check. How much are you eating of the pie and then complaining about the pie that's gone? The pie's gone. The pie's gone. You ate the pie. Watch that one. If you've ever been caught with a tax debt, it's your fault. You get a better accountant, but it's probably your fault. You need to educate yourself in this realm. I never forget the day one of my best mates, James, I was like, I got stuck with this tax debt. He was like, that's your fault. You needed to know. It's just a percentage of what you earn. And I'm like, oh yeah, thanks. thanks for nothing. Thanks for nothing. So you're not making money. It's been like this for a while. It's very critical. If things are going south, then either stop going south and just go grab a coffee, spend 2 days and try and spend 2 hours and work out where your money's going, where your time's going, what's happening, and turn this damn bus around. You weren't born to run an average business and run it into the ground. Stop doing that. Second one, you can't pay your bills on time. The wholesaler, wages, yourself, BAS, company tax, you're consistently delayed or behind. This is a red flag. This is a huge red flag. And now while the ATO might be incredibly generous with their payment plans, by the time you usually get on a payment plan, it's more or less, sometimes it's too late. Now you got to stay on top of your ongoing liabilities, and you've got to chip into your old liabilities. And a burden can be too heavy. The burden can be too heavy. So you've got to be on top of this. If you've been stuck with a personal debt or a company tax debt or a BAS debt and you can't pay it, or a wholesaler debt, or you're borrowing money from loans and credit cards to pay wages, that's a red flag. Something is wrong. Your business is waving at you. Hello, something's wrong here. If you're taking out owner drawings and you've had advice that, oh yeah, because you don't have a super component on that and you won't pay workers' comp, that's a bad decision. You want to treat yourself like an employee, pay yourself a wage and pay yourself super, so you're chipping into your retirement, and you want to pay workers' comp. Because if something happens, that's insurance for you. You want to be doing these things. If you can't pay your bills on time, and it's been like that for a while, it's not like a one-off, there's a red flag. It's a red flag. If you got stuck with a personal tax debt and you're like, how did this happen to me? That's a red flag. That blemish is on you. You can blame your accountant all you want, and yes, you should get a new accountant, but you should educate yourself. If you take 100 grand, you probably owe 25 grand. If X amount of money comes in your business, this is one of the hugest issues that is, I'm talking electrically here, where it's typically 30% labor, 70% materials, something of that. So of your 100 grand that comes in, there's 30 grand of labor, 70 grand is just going to the wholesaler. Like usually going to your suppliers, usually. But when you got 100 grand in your account, you can feel like, I got 100 grand in my account. It's probably not yours. If you look holistically across your business and our net profit margin and stuff like that, of 100 grand coming in, 20 is the business's to keep, usually, hopefully, if you're quoting correctly. If you're not quoting correctly, you might be losing money on that. You got to know this stuff. You got to check every week, every day, every month. We have to be on top of this stuff. It's not good enough. If you can't pay your bills on time, there's a red flag. Beware of the revenue monster. The revenue monster is insatiable, like Darren Hayes talks about. Truly, madly, deeply insatiable. Truly, madly, deeply insatiable. You can be, I'm doing this revenue, You make it. What are you keeping of that? It's money coming in, that's great. But what's staying in? Money coming in, fantastic. Are we keeping any of it? Are we investing any of it back into the business? We need to know this stuff of what's coming in, what is the business's, and what is yours. So if you're not making money, it's been like that for a while, and you can't pay your bills on time, and it's been pretty typical, pretty consistent, and you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, this is a red flag. And the danger of sort of company tax and personal tax is by the time you do your account, you see your account and it's payable, it's May from the year before, and it's like, oh my gosh, I owe all this money. So there's a delay. There's a seed time and harvest in a negative sense. I was taking this money in June of 2025, and then it's not due, July 2025, it's not due for 18 months. I can get away with it for 18 months and then I'll pay something. So you're always behind. Another huge thing to be aware of is your employee liabilities. If you've got a whole bunch of staff, they're entitled to a whole bunch of leave. That's not your money. The annual leave money, the personal leave money, that should be in your account ready to go. If you can't pay the wholesaler on time consistently, that's bad. If you're consistently using credit cards to get ahead, something might need to change here. So I said this, but point number 3, if you're consistently putting your own money in, or you've taken out additional loans via credit cards or business loans or whatever, or you're consistently on some sort of payment plans or loans from your family, that's a red flag. Red flag. We need to change that. Like I said, be super conscious of what you're taking out in the first place. Too many of us are taking out too much in the first place and then going like, where is it? On this side note, don't spend more than you earn. That's not a thing. If you got 5 grand coming in every week, don't spend more than 5. Maybe you can't afford it. And that's okay. There's no shame in that. If you can't afford something, you can't afford something. If you've got 3 credit cards or 2 credit cards, or you're consistently upping your limit, you might want to check yourself. That's not necessarily a good thing. Credit cards should be used for points. stuff. Like, I got the money there, but I use my credit card because I'm spending $2,000 on an Amex every year and I'm getting 15 back. That's a fantastic deal, but not when you're consistently behind. All right, major red flag. You're not making money. You can't pay your bills on time. You're consistently putting in your own money. The next one is you're working 60 to 80 hours per week and there's no end in sight. I'm just hustling, man. Just hustling. When do you stop hustling? Is it 6 months, 2 years, 3 months? Are you in a business, sweaty startup? Are you going through a growth season of business? When do you stop? When does it stop? Because that 60 to 80 hours, that's going to have its toll on you, on your mental health, on your burnout, on your partner, on your relationships, on your children or future children. It's going to take its toll. When is the end? You can push real hard until you can't push hard anymore, and then you're running on empty. And it's like, I'm trying to start the car, it's not working. Because you didn't treat your body well, you didn't treat your mind well for all these years. And that's crazy, doing that many hours. And like, I've done it, and I think in Sparky Coach, I've been really smart about it. I've done it for a season, pull back, because I want to have a life. And I think and there's business growth, but the business is not you. You're a person too. You need to separate yourself from the business. You are not your business, and your business is not you. They're two. Business is an entity. It's not a human. You are a human. You have a life. You have responsibilities. I got a pet. I got responsibilities. All right. It's crazy. If you're working crazy hours, you might need to hire, put your prices up, say no to the wrong clients. You might need to employ an administration person. You might need to control your time a little bit. One of our big things here is to generate revenue, drive profits, control your time. There's no point generating heaps of revenue and making heaps of money if you don't have any time to do anything you love or spend with anyone you love. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. You are working with the wrong people. Point number 5. Point number 1, you're not making money. It's been like this for a while. Red flag. You can't pay your bills on time. Red flag. You're consistently putting your own money in or borrowing money to float the business. Red flag. You are working 60 to 80 hours a week and there's no end in sight. Red flag. The last one is you're working with the wrong people. Red flag. If you don't like going to work, there's a reason. You got to work with the best staff, the best clients, the best accountants, the best coaches. You got to work with the best people in the industry. If you're not happy working with someone, why stay in it? It's because you're too nice. You can't have a hard conversation. That's not a good thing. It's a blemish on you that you can't have a hard conversation, right? Too many people get stuck with bad accountants, with bad advice, with bad staff members, and they just think it's going to turn around. It's not going to turn around. It's just not going to turn around. You have to turn it around. If you think it's going to turn around, there's no magic bullet, there's no magic pill. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to save you. You have to turn it around. It's you. You have to take responsibility, take control, and turn it around. That's it. Forget about it. No one's coming to save you. There's no knight in shining armor. No one's coming to give you $1 million for your business or $10 million for your business. Or if they are, you have to act like they're not. What if they didn't? What if they do? What if they don't? What if someone comes to save me? What if they don't? What if they don't? Are you going to be okay? Yeah, everything will be all right. Maybe it won't be. Maybe it won't be. Maybe it won't be okay. Maybe you're going down a path that sucks. Maybe you need to be honest with yourself, be serious with yourself. Far out, my tax debt's racking up year after year after year. I'm not making the money year after year after year. I'm still working for that dickhead client year after year after year. I'm still working with that person I don't really like year after year after year. I'm still doing 80 hours a week year after year after year after year. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Bad result, bad result, bad result. When will you wake up and turn this damn bus around? Got to turn it around. So what's the moral of the story here? What are we saying? Rather than just yelling at you for like 20 minutes. You can sit there and be like, everything happens for a reason. The trade gods will turn this around. Yeah, or whatever God you believe in, they're going to turn around. There's hope. There might not be. You don't have to land yourself in an awful situation if you don't have to land yourself in an awful situation. You don't have to end up where you're heading. You can turn it around. You can pull the handbrake up and do a U-turn. You can change something. You might need to change something. You might have no choice but to change something. You could lose your house. You could lose your family. You could lose relationships. You could lose stuff here. It's not, business isn't about winning. It can be. I hope it is for you. You can also lose big. You can lose huge. If I told you you can gain all this, but you can lose the stuff that you really care about, you'd probably be like, I don't want that. No, that sucks. I'm not doing that. Turn this damn bus around. Everything happens for a reason. Yeah, you gotta have that hope. But you've also got to control the narrative sometimes. You got to have hope, yes, but you got to have wisdom. You can't just make bad decisions and expect a good result. Wisdom and hope have to come together. They have to come together. You can't just make bad decisions and be like, how'd I end up here? I'll tell you exactly how you ended up here. You know what? If you had a coffee for an hour, you could tell yourself exactly how you ended up here. Sometimes you got to slow down to speed up. If you can avoid going through something awful, you really should try your best to avoid going through something awful. Make money, build wealth, be kind. Be kind to yourself. You are not the business. You are a person that has people that love you, and you love people. You have something you love to do, whether it's surfing or exercise or kayaking or mountain climbing. Find that person. That person should serve the business, who is an entity. The business is not a person. The business has to be profitable. Otherwise, there's no point. Otherwise, it's not sustainable. Otherwise, it's crazy, right? Generate revenue, drive profits, control your time. What season are you in now? Are you in a, oh my gosh, I've got the work, I've got the revenue, I just don't have the money. I've got to sink myself into that. It's going to cost me some time, but I've got to sink my time into that. That's the most important lever in the business. Or are you in a mode where it's like, I got the revenue, I'm keeping a lot of it, I'm just working too much. Cool, control the narrative, pull it back. Red flags, watch the red flags. Watch the revenue monster. Watch the consistent financial strain. Watch that. Watch that. Be the best person you can be. Run the best business you can be. Don't apologize for making money. Don't apologize for having standards. Don't apologize for growing as a person and a business. You don't owe anyone any apologies. But you do owe yourself something. You owe yourself to be the best version of yourself you can be. And if you've got on your heart to run a business, that's a very unique and special thing, and you should honor that. And how do you honor that? You be a good steward of that. And how do you be a good steward? You make sure you're driving revenue, driving profits, and controlling your time consistently over time. And you'll end up in such a beautiful spot in 10 and 20 and 30 years. And be like, thank God. Thank the trade gods, I made smart decisions consistently over time. Thank God I did the right thing consistently over time. Thank God I made money consistently over time. Thank God I turned that damn bus around 15 years ago. Thank God I turned it around. I was going in a terrible direction and I turned it around. I changed. Some of you right now, this is the moment in time. You've got to change. And no one's coming to save you. You have to want it. You have to do it. This is you. This is your time. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, this is my time. I'm coming after this. Much love out there. Look after yourself. Beware of the red flags. And seriously, make money, build wealth, be kind. Peace. Crowe Show out. That's a wrap on another podcast. Whatever you're doing, don't be too busy to stop and check if you're making money. And above all else, you know the rules. Be kind. See you soon.